So the grid formation is a 4-3-4-3. Pole position will be, as we're looking at it, on the left-hand side. And they will be sighting on a set of traffic lights, which is just outside of your view, behind the tree there. So, apart from the Colts, who'll be doing 6. Once they leave that grid, they won't be going back on it again. They come off the grid, they run down in front of us, sharp right-hand turn, round telegraph pole turn. That's all where it all gets a bit manic. They're all trying to get down there and around it first, so we could see some excitement on that first turn. So as they turn the telegraph pole, they then almost back straight, and it is down to the water, small stretch of water. On this particular occasion, it looks quite innocent, but it's amazing how it can catch drivers out. So through the pond and then straight up the hill. Now as they go up the hill, there is a series of bumps and dips as they go up there. The more to the left they go, the worse it gets. So being on the area, a good thing. At the top of the hill there, where you see the set of tyres with the red netting or orange netting where the marshals are, that is the actual crest of the hill. Now the other side of it, the hill drops away down the other side, so what you can get is wind coming up the hill from the other side and meeting the craft as it hits that peak, and then suddenly you've got an unstable craft trying to get round on the crest of the hill to another marker on the right hand side at the top there. And then they turn that, come down the hill, and the one that's halfway down the hill, they keep that one on their left. So they'll be on the left of it as we're looking. And then they come down to this orange one, almost in front of us, well, to your right. Can be tricky, and the craft could get airborne there, especially with I've just noticed the wind direction just picking up a little bit. And then they come through that finish line right in front of the van here, and through and round the telegraph pole again. So I will go through the grid now, because that looks as though it's getting pre-formed up. So we've got 108 is just dropping into pole now, and that is I'm just looking to see who it is. I think that's Dan Turnbull. Second is 43, and that is going to be Josh Morales. Third is going to be 81, Nick Drew, and completing the front row, number 50, Richard Worthington. Looking at the second row, we've got 51, that is George Olner. And then alongside George is 116, and that is Serena Hackett. Recently out of juniors. Now third row back, we got 72, and that is going to be Kian Olner. Now I've lost, I think that might be Richard Pound alongside in what's his number? Or is it Richard Pound? No, not Richard Pound. It's wrong formula. No, I've lost track of who's there now. We got 67. That is going to be Honor Grease. She's right at the very back now. Technically she is a novice. She's requalifying. She's only got to do 3 races in novices, but she's the only novice this weekend, so they've moved her straight up into the Formula 50. We've also got 89, and that is going to be, don't have a number for that one. That's interesting. 89. No. Ah, yes, 89 Peter Symes Thompson, that's right. So, yeah, he would be normally running his F2 class, so I'm slightly confused there. That's why I hesitated with saying a name. So it's 89 Peter Symes Thompson. Then we got 86, and that is Michael Lambert. 61. 61. 61. Oh, that's where I've got... yeah, they've thrown some numbers at me this weekend. It's all very confusing. No. Russell Hudson. So I think I've been given the wrong number. 61 is a different formula. That's Dave Palfrey. Katrina Palfrey, that's Formula 2 number. So not quite sure what's going on there. So we'll see as they come through and pick up the numbers. So we're coming up to the 2-minute board very shortly. They'll go through a sequence of, that goes through the paddock. They get a 10-minute board in the paddock, 5-minute board in the paddock. Once they then come out of the paddock, we then switch on to a 2-minute board, and they're just about to show that. You'll hear a whistle. There we go. So 2 minutes away from the start now. This is where they all tend to fire up their 1-minute board, or between the 1 and the 2, the marshals on the grid there will be going through, making sure that the drivers got their crash helmets fitted properly, and also to make sure they got their lanyards fitted. Now the lanyard is a safety cord which attaches from the driver, usually to the wrist. It can be on the life jacket. That's one end of the cord, and the other end of the cord is to a switch. So the event of the driver coming out of the craft, the engine automatically gets stopped. Right, they are now on the 1-minute board. Right, just looking for the lights now. Marshall's a bit hidden behind the tree there. There we go. We're on the lights. Oh, we got somebody jumping it on row 3. And I think that's Michael Lambert. Getting a bit eager there on the throttle, so Mikey Lambert being pulled back onto his grid position. I've got his daughters down there shaking their heads saying, "Really, Dad?" So it's all going to be a bit frantic as they go into this turn round the telegraph pole. And we're away. Oh, bad start for the pole sitter. And it's Nick Drew, 81 in round and clean. Oh, there's a lot of jostling there. 108 and 43 side, 43 side by side. Then 50, 95, 72, 51, 86, 116, 99, 46, 67. And Dan Turnbull pulls off to the left-hand side. I think he got tagged as he went round the telegraph pole turn, and he may have lost his rudders. So Dan Turnbull at the moment stopped on track part way up the hill. He was the pole sitter for this race, so a disastrous start for Dan Turnbull. He's fired up the engine. Yeah, looks as though his rudders got disconnected. So as they cross the lines, 81, Nick Drew leading, 43, Josh Morales, 50, Richard Wellington, that's the first 3. Then 95, Charlie Clark. 72, Kian Olner. 51, Georgia Olner. 89, Peter Symes Thompson. 86, Michael Lambert. Russ Hudson. 46, 116, Serena Hackett. 67, Nancy Devlin. Oh, Dan Turnbull, it's all going wrong, having caught the back of the pack. Round the telegraph pole turn, the engine has died. So Nick Drew through the line, that's 3 laps gone. 81 pulling out a small lead, but it is only small over 43 Josh Morales, then 50 Richard Worthington. Those first 3 still very much in touch. Although it looks as though Nick Drew going through the pond there, looks as though he's opening up that gap very slightly as he sprints up the hill. So our leader already starting to work his way through the back markers. Nancy Devlin being picked off as she goes round the telegraph pole turn. That's Josh Morales, 43, and he makes the pass now. Long way back to 4th, 95 Charlie Clark, then 72, 89, 51. So 5 laps gone now. Oh, there is a battle now on for second spot. 43 Josh Morales has got Richard Worthington, number 50 on his tail to go up the hill. The back markers, I suspect, playing a part in that race for second spot. So running down the hill, it's 81 Nick Drew coming through, and then Richard Worthington, number 50, has made the pass on Josh Morales, 43. So second spot now, Richard Worthington, 50, 43, Josh Morales in third. Well, a long way back, just crossing the line is Charlie Clark in 4th spot, number 95. Then Kian Olner, 72. 89, Peter Symes Thompson. Then Georgia Olner, 51. 46, Russell Hudson. Just behind is Nick Drew, our leader, number 81. He goes through the line with 1 lap to go now. So second spot is now Josh Morales, 43. Came over the line, almost airborne, swung well wide, and Richard Worthington trying to fight back. So this is it, 1 lap to go for those two. They're battling for second spot. So where's our leader? Just taken the last turn at the top of the hill. He runs down the hill now. Should get a reasonably clear run. The checkered flag is now waiting. So our first win of the weekend goes to Nick Drew, number 81. And fighting back and regaining that second spot is 43, Josh Morales. Then 50, Richard Wellington comes through in third. We got some way back before we see the fourth spot at the moment. That's Charlie Clark, number 95. I think he's at the top of the hill. There we go. Charlie Clark comes through the line in fourth, number 95. Fifth is 72, Kian Olner. Sixth is Georgia Olner, 51. So brother and sister crossing the line, one after the other. Then seventh is 89, Peter Sams Thompson. Just waiting for eighth. Eighth, I think it's going to be 46, Russell Hudson. Then, what have we got? 86. Who's 86? '86, Mikey Lambert in ninth. Then 10th spot 116, and that is going to be 116. I've got brain fade here. Oh, Serena Hackett, that's it. And then 67, Nancy. Oh, no, sorry, Anna Greaves. And then 108, well, we didn't get enough laps in. That would be Dan Turnbull, the pole sitter for the race. So our next group up already onto the grid is Formula 3, along with the Formula 35s. So Formula 3 up to 250cc 2-stroke, 500cc 4-stroke. I suspect we got a 4-stroke out there. I think that's going to be in third spot. So Formula 3s, they're on the left-hand side as we look at it. Up to 250cc 2-stroke, 500cc 4-stroke. That's the first three craft, and then the fourth craft on the front row is the Formula 30. The H, board with H on it, so it means hold. There's an issue somewhere. We're just waiting for someone to clear. And then Adam Turnbull, I think, this time. 168. No, Laura Turnbull. Got the whole family out racing this week. Pound. And then 147, Howard Ash. And then that F35. Right, we're on the 2-minute board. So 8 laps again. So I've just been told we're streaming live now. So those members of the Hover Club that are watching, welcome to Magnols. Beautiful sunny day. Bit of a breeze at times, which could be a bit exciting for the drivers, especially at the top of the hill. So for those watching online, we're into our second race, the Formula 3 and the Formula 35s. And we're away. And it's Howard Ash, I think, going to be into the turn first with that 4-stroke. 147. Oh, Laura Turnbull taking it very easy into that first turn, very gingerly. 144, Richard Pound just tucking in behind the leader as they go through the pond. 168, Laura Turnbull is the third spot in that Formula 3 group. Then Zoe Deacon 171. Well, she's in her own race there. See how she gets on keeping up with the Formula 3s. Completely different concept that. You'll notice a completely different sound. She's running 4-stroke engines. She's only allowed to use a maximum of 35 horsepower, and that is the total capacity of all the engines on board, and they have to be air-cooled. So typically a Briggs & Stratton. So Richard Pound up into the lead now, 144, followed by 147, Howard Ash, then Laura Turnbull, 168. Well, Richard Pound coming down the hill there, the lead craft, 144, pulling away quite a bit now from second spot, Howard Ash in 147, but still got Laura Turnbull, 168 on his tail. Laura potentially could make a move before the end of the race. So that is now 2-stroke against 4-stroke, those two, as it goes through the pond and up the hill. So I'll lead F3 craft about to lap Zoe Deacon in that Formula 35. So Richard's just squeezing through. And Howard Ash, 147 through the pond. Looks like he might have opened up the gap very slightly to Laura. Next Formula already being called forward. That's the Formula 2s. Laps completed. So 1 lap to go now. Our leader goes through. Well, Laura Turnbull in that 3rd spot, 168. I half expected to close the gap down on Howard Ash. Looks as though she stayed with him, but not been able to close that gap down. So Richard Pound takes the first win for Formula 3, 144. Crossing the line in 2nd spot, Howard Ash, 147. And then 168, Laura Turnbull. Zoe Deacon automatically takes that 1st spot for the F35s in 171. So the F2s now forming up on the grid. Right, so Formula 2s. So we're now looking at up to 600cc 2-stroke, 750cc 4-stroke. Now, I don't think we've got any 4-strokes here this weekend. 89 Peter Symes Thompson is here, but not the craft, I don't think. By the looks of it, no, he's not. So he's been racing out in the Formula 50s. So in pole position, we got 68, Adam Turnbull. Alongside him is George Barnes, 77. A welcome return to George. Taking time out at the beginning of this season. And he was last year's Formula 2 UK champion. Alongside him, number 61, Dave Palfrey. And that craft is up for sale. So if anybody is interested, club members especially, number 61, Dave Palfrey, that craft is up for sale. Completing the front row is number 52, and that is Aaron Sutton. row 2 is 119. And that is, oh, that's going to be Jake Trustler, I think. Then 55. That is going to be Sue Oakley. Now, unusually for the Formula 2 race, it's normally her husband, Simon Oakley. Found out this morning that Sue actually posted a faster time than him, 2 seconds quicker a lap. So Sue actually is the faster in that craft, beating her husband by 2 seconds a lap. So she's now in the F2s. First time she's been out in the F2s. She normally does the Opens, and her husband does the F2. So she's got a busy weekend now. Alongside Sue is number 98. That's Maciek Uchman. And I think that might be it. So we've already gone through the 2-minute board. We're now on the 1-minute board. 8 laps. We're just picking up the pace now. Watch out for George Barnes in that second spot. Number 77. Here we're coming up to the lights very shortly now. Here we go. And we're away. It's going to be Adam Turnbull, 68 into the turn first, but can he hold on to it? George Barnes in second. 719, 98. That's, oh, Sue Oakley got a hand up. So Sue Oakley lost the thrust by the looks of it. Oh, yeah, she's lost the thrust. Just tagged the tyres there. Shouldn't be any major damage, but that thrust engine has stopped, so lift is fine. So still leading as they run through the line. 68, Adam Turnbull. Still being chased by George Barnes, 77. Third is still Dave Palfrey, 61. Then 52, Aaron Sutton. Then 119, Jake Trustler. Then 98, Maciek Uchman. So the wind picking up a little bit, and that is blowing up the hill. So that could be presenting a few issues for the two front runners. They take the top of the hill there, they run back down the hill. This is where that wind, if it picks up momentarily, could catch them out as they run down the hill. Here comes Adam. Up the rise. And a little bit airborne there. George a bit smoother. So, a long way back, but there is a battle for second, third, fourth. That being led by Dave Palfrey, 61. Now I think that's Jake Trustler in 119. Then 52, Aaron Sutton. So a three-way battle going on here. So a race of two halves. Sue Oakley finally gets back on track, a long way down. It's a case of damage limitation now. It's a case of getting enough laps in to get on the lap chart. George Barnes now trying to line up the pass in But George Barnes is closing and looking for that moment where he can make the pass. That might happen when they're getting in amongst the back markers, which probably is on the next lap. They've got 4 laps completed now. Oh, Aaron Sutton gets the craft up on his side. Loses track time, but no positions lost. Here we go, the troop front runners now in amongst the back markers. Adam Turnbull, 68, now under pressure from George Barnes, 77, as they run up the hill. This is where it could all change. Adam Turnbull through, George Barnes through. So that's 2 of the back markers past. They run down the hill. They've got 2 more in front of them. That could be critical now as they go around the telegraph pole turn. And this is going to be 6 laps completed. Oh, Adam Turnbull gone airborne and he's lost the place. Oh dear, it's all gone wrong for Adam Turnbull, 68. Well, he shakes his hand, he knows he's got it wrong. I took my eye off the ball for just a split second there. I think Adam got the craft a bit airborne, got sideways, and that was it. George Barnes said, thank you very much, I'm coming through. So George Barnes, an easy run through. He should be getting the last lap board right now, and the last lap board is not out, but it should be. Well, Adam getting the craft airborne again as he tries to make up ground, but there's no way he's going to catch George. He's in amongst the back markers. So George Barnes, half a lap to go now. The run down the hill to the checkered flag. So George Barnes takes the win. Third goes to Dave Paul, 361. Fourth goes to 119, Jake Trussler. Then Magic Uckman, 98. Then 52, Aaron Sutton. So George Barnes, 77. The pressure he's putting on Adam Turnbull paid off. And that was it. The race was won and lost in that moment. So, with our F2s now feeding back to the paddock, we've now got the next group up, and that is the junior race. So, juniors, we are now looking at 13, 16 years of age. They are restricted in what they can run. As a general guide, it's up to 250cc Formula 3 spec craft, up to 250cc 2-stroke, 500cc 4-stroke, the Formula 50 craft, and the Formula 35 specification craft. So for those of you who may have been in previous years, for the last couple of years now, we've been splitting the juniors into 2 groups. We've got the juniors and then the subgroup, the colts, who are aged 10 to 13. 10 to 13, whereas the juniors always used to be 11 to 16. We've now split them into 2 groups, so colts 10 to 13, and then juniors 13 to 16. Pole sitter for this race, 155, and that's Ollie Brand. The white and with the blue checker on the front, that's Ollie Brand. In second spot is 48, Josh Trussler. Then third spot is 53, Oscar Lewington. And then completing the front row, number 86, and that's Ben Lambert. Second row, we got 147, Nathan Collins. You saw his dad out in the F3 race. Nathan, what did I say? Oh, not Nathan Collins. Got the first bit right. Nathan Ash. So Nathan Ash in 147. Why did I say Collins? No idea. And then alongside Nathan, we got 67. That's Nathan. Is that craft there? I think so. Joe Smith. I think that's all the craft onto the grid. So 8 laps again, 7 craft. Right. Now don't forget, if you do go away from today and you want to find out some more information about the club as a whole, and not just the racing side, cruising side as well, which is very active in this part of the country, then www.hovercraft.org.uk is the main club website address. And of course you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram. The handle for all 3 of those is @official HCGB. We're now down to the 1 minute board. '53, Ben Lambert 86, then 48, 24, 147, 27, 46. Oh, we got 51, I just spotted. Right down in front of the spectators. I think that's Amy O'Callaghan. So local driver. Just Trustler, 24, Joe Smith, then 148 and Nathan Ash, then 27, Elliot Folland, then 46. Now that I'm not sure whether it's going to be Luke or Tom. I think that's Luke. Apparently it's Tom Hudson in 46. His brother's doing the second set of races. Well, Ollie Brand, 155, still got... Oh, turn 48, Josh Russell. Oh, there's 3 of them battling it onto... Well, Joe Smith, 24, stamping his mark there as he went through the pond. Getting that craft a little bit airborne. She comes down the hill. Our leader comes through. 155, Ollie Brand. That's 3 laps gone now. So Joe Smith, takes a wide turn. Josh Trussler trying to take a tighter line. Closes the gap a little bit, but not quite enough. That is the battle for third, fourth, fifth and sixth. So Ollie Brand through the line, now pulling out a bit of a lead. 4 laps gone, halfway through the race. Oscar Lewandon, 53 in second, just dropping back very slightly, but he's in a comfortable second. Here comes the 4-5-way battle. 24, Joe Smith is leading that battle, then Josh Trussler, 48. Then 86, Ben Lambert. Then 147, Nathan Ash. Then 27, Elliot Folland. Josh Trussler, 48, all over the back of Joe Smith. Is going to try and make the move as they come through the pond. And I think Jake, they're side by side. Whoa, they were side by side. Josh not quite making it. He's going to make it across the crest of the hill. They takes the inside line, and Josh Trussler moves up in a third. Joe Smith, 24, dropped to fourth. And, 147, Nathan Ash got past Ben Lambert in 86. Is he going to make it stick? Oh, side by side, but in front of him, waiting for them to get tangled up. They didn't. So as the leader runs across the crest of the hill, the last lap board is now waiting for Ollie Brand. 155 to run down the hill. Clear run at the moment. I suspect he will be getting in amongst some back markers on the last lap. Ollie Brand just waiting behind the back markers. Checker flag is now waiting. He's in a comfortable lead. So Ollie Brand, 155, takes the win. Close, but not close enough. Coming through in second is Oscar Lewandon, but he's happy about that. Third goes to 48, Josh Trussler. Fourth goes to 24, Joe Smith. Fifth goes to 147, Nathan Ash. Sixth goes to 86, Ben Lambert. Seventh goes to not Joe Smith. 27, Elliot Folland. And eighth goes to Tom Hudson. And then in ninth place, number 51, Amy O'Callaghan. Right, we're picking up the pace now. Formula One. So we're now looking at unlimited capacity. So Formula One, unlimited capacity, anything goes. We're looking at thrust engines in the order of anywhere between 180 and 220 horsepower, the front as well. So 0 to 60, they'll accelerate most standard road cars from 0 to 60. And they'll top out around about 70, 80 mile an hour. They will be going up that hill substantially quicker. We've got 5 craft on the grid. We've got number 1, and that is going to be Callum Bill. So father and son combination. Callum tends to do the national races. Dad, the former world champion, tends to do the opens now. Alongside is number 5. Oh, just listening. I got it wrong. It's Conrad in pole position. Got it the wrong way around. Yeah, I can see him putting his helmet on now. So we've got father and daughter there in first and second spot. Third spot is Cy Francis in number 28. And then completing that front row, number 6. That looks like Adam Turnbull. Right, 1 minute away from the start now. So Adam Turnbull in that number 6 craft. On the right-hand side, if you look at it, the red and white craft, that is a Formula 2 spec craft, but he's taking it out in the Formula 1. So see how he performs. Here we go, we're on the lights. Hammer away. Well, Cy Francis off to a good start, number 28, but it is Conrad Bill on the inside line. Number 6, Adam Turnbull trying to go around the outside, but it's Formula 1 out accelerating that Formula 2 there. Onto the bond and up the hill, so it's 1, 6, 28, and then 5 picking up the rear at the moment. So Conrad Bill floating it down the hill very nicely there. Oh, Cy Francis pulls off to one side. That looks like a thrust engine problem. It's still running. So Adam Turnbull, number 6, in a comfortable second now. And Abby Beale, number 5, in third. Oh, and I think that's the exhaust pipe on number 28. That sounds a bit noisy. There's an exhaust, I think, gone. Oh, and that's our leader. Conrad Beale, the thrust fan, has gone. Well, so Conrad Beale, that thrust fan exploding there. It's not often that happens, but it's one of those things that can happen. So for Conrad now, it's a case of what made it fail. That could have been something going through it, or it could have been age related to the age of the blades. All sorts of possibilities. In theory, they will have that craft back out in the second block of races. Many hands on that thrust fan, I expect, and getting the blades changed. So, back to our leader, number 6, Adam Turnbull, who puts the craft up on his side. Well, a nice spin in front of you there. I don't think he was doing that for effect, but nicely pulled out of it before he made contact with the telegraph pole turn. So half a lap back is Abbeville, number 5. So our next group already starting to come onto the grid are the Colts. So these are aged 10 to 13 years of age. Well, Adam having a better run in this Formula 1 race. That's Formula 2 spec craft, but the 2 craft out there now actually are Formula 2 spec, but they're running in this Formula 1 race, so we haven't got any true Formula 1s, as we'd say now. But last lap board now going. Juniors, they're also restricted in the amount of thrust they can actually produce. So choice of engines is limited, but then at the end of the day, they can only produce a certain amount of thrust out the back. So Adam takes an easy win in the end, number 6. Second will be number 5, Abby Beale. So 6 laps now for the Colts. They're the only ones doing the 6 laps. Let's see who we got. In pole position, we have got number 44, the Pocket Rocket, Lily Elston. Second spot, we got 153, Emily Lewandon. Third spot is 158, Tyler Reynolds. And row 2, I think that is going to be number 30, Maya Barlow. Race, the girls dominating, so 3 girls, 1 boy. Oh no, I just looked down, Maya Barlow's got out of the craft. So it doesn't look as though she's going to get out in the race, not quite sure why. So just 3 craft on the grid. Here we go, we're on the lights. Oh, Lily into the turn first, number 44. Then, oh, hopefully you get that sorted out for the next few laps. So 153, Emily Lewandon in second spot. Then Tyler in third. Meanwhile, up the top of the hill, Lily Elston way and clear. Oh, and Tyler has stopped halfway up the hill. In fact, he's not on the hill yet, at the base of the hill. Oh dear, Emily's craft being pulled off to one side. That's a shame. Second. Looks like they're still trying to fire up Emily's craft. I can see the fan spinning round. Oh, it looks like Emily's craft might be going again. Oh, no, it stopped again. So whilst we've got a bit of a quiet moment, don't forget, if you do go away from today and you want to find out some more information, www.hovercraft.org.uk. And of course you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and handle for all 3 of those is @official HCGB. So if you're looking at your program to see what's coming up next, the next race up will be Formula 50. So, sorry, Formula 50, the open race. The open race is up next, open to all the main formulas, apart from the novice, juniors and colts. So we get a mixed bag out there on the grid. Well, the run down the hill for our leader, Lily Olston. The last backboard is now waiting. So after the open race, we'll be having a paddock break, at which point you can have a look into the paddock and have a good look round. I will announce that when we get to it. So 1 lap to go now for Lily. Here we go. Final run to the line. Lily Elston. An easy win in the end. And automatically taking second spot, 158, Tyler Reynolds. So, our next group up, the Open Formula race. I think they've been called forwards, so we should start to see grid craft out on the grid in just a moment. I just spotted that the pole sit. Callum Beale. So Callum, I'm just looking down the grid. I suspect that's the craft's not going to make it out in the grid because his dad was out in that F1 race and the fan blew, so I think it's unlikely that they would have got the fan changed that quick. So our pole position may well be vacant. Dropping into second spot there, the Formula 2, Sue Oakley. She got off to a disastrous start in that first race, the F2 race. Let's hope things go better this time. Dropping into row 2, number 61, Dave Palfrey. Now that craft is for sale this year, so anybody's interested, number 61, Dave Palfrey. He races as a team with his daughter. Daughter's not here this weekend, so Dave picking up both the F2 races and the Open races. Dropping into front row in fourth spot, 144, Richard Pound. Is another one that runs as a team with his son, but son's not available this weekend. I think that's uni. He has interrupted his first part of his race season. So on that front row we've got Francis. Still craft coming out onto the grid. I think 119, Jake Trussler. There's going to be a Formula 2 dropping into third spot on the front row. I see number 5 coming out onto the grid very shortly. That's going to be Aaron Sutton this time. in that Formula 2. So 8 laps for this race. Don't forget, directly after this race, looking at the times, we should have a good opportunity for a break. So directly after this race, I'll wait for the craft to settle down into the paddock when they get back, and then we'll be opening up the paddock for members of the public to have a good look round the craft up close. Right, that's the 2-minute board. So 2 minutes away from the start now. Kean Olner, I just spotted at the back of the grid there, number 72 in a Formula 50 craft. And we're now on the 1-minute board. Here we go, we're on the lights. 9 goes into the turn first, followed by 55, Sue Oakley, but the Formula 3, 144, Richard Pound sneaks through on the inside, but it is 55, Sue Oakley just straight it back and challenging for the lead, but it is Jake Trussler at the moment in that Formula 2. Oh no, gone wrong again, Sue Oakley is pulled off to one side. Not a good day for that craft. So, our leader, Jake Trussler, 119. So, Formula 2 leading that Formula 3, 144, Richard Pound. Then Dave Palfrey, 61, the Formula 2. Trying to work out the next one now. Dave Palfrey catches some air as he comes down the hill. So, it's Abby Bill in number 5. She's being chased by Cy Francis, 28, then Kean Olner, 72, and 98, Majak Uckman, bringing up the rear at the moment. Oh, run down the hill, Jake Trussler still. Richard Pound in that Formula 3. Now under pressure from the Formula 1 as they go around the telegraph pole turn, and that's where the Formula 1 power comes in. Cy Francis, 28, moves up in the second spot. The Formula 3 drops up the rear now. And Sue Oakley, well, she's coming down the hill, but the hand's gone up again. Not a good day for her. I'm going to try and find out what's happening with that craft when we have the break. Cy Francis. 1-9, Jake Trussler drops to second. Third is 144, Richard Pound in that Formula 3. Then the Formula 2, 61 Dave Palfrey. Then the Formula 2, 5, Abby Bill. Then 98, Majak Uckman. Then 72, Kean Olner. Well, Cy Francis in that Formula One, opening up the lead now. 4 laps gone, we're now midpoint in the race. Oh, Richard Pound 144, got it wrong. He's lost that second spot. He's out of the craft, but he should be okay. Went into the turn too tight, trying to close the gap, and he's caught the tyres. So Richard Pound out of the craft at the moment. He's getting back in. He's fired up. He's away. But just a small mistake there. Richard Pound went into that turn trying to keep it tight. Not allowing anybody through, but got it too tight. So Richard Pound drops down the field. Second spot is 119, still Jake Truster. Third will now be 61, Dave Palfrey, I think. Or is it? No, it's Maciej Uckman in third, 98, then Dave Palfrey, 61. So that tumble by Richard Pound mixed up the order. Fifth spot is 5, Abby Bill. 6 is 72, Kian Olner. Then 144, Richard Pound in 7th now. So 2 laps to go now. And the lap board is now out. 1 lap to go now for our Formula One, number 28, Cy Francis. .119, Jake Truster in a comfortable second. Third is still 98, Maciej Uckman. And fourth, Dave Palfrey, just going around the telegraph pole turn now. Number 61. Then 5, Abby Bill. So, Cy Francis, number 28, in that Formula One, takes the win. Second through the line, Formula 2, number 119, Jake Truster. Third through the line, Formula 2, 98, Maciej Uckman. And then fourth through the line, 61, Dave Palfrey, again another Formula 2. And another Formula 2 coming through in fifth, number 5, Abby Bill. And dropping all the way down the field, but still finishing the race, the Formula 3, number 144, Richard Pound. He comes through in sixth. Seventh is 72, Kian Olner in that Formula 50. Okay, that's our final race of the first block of racing. We're going to wait for the craft to all get settled down before we open up the paddock. They're still peeling back in, so give it a few minutes. So if you are looking to come into the paddock area, don't forget it is strictly a no smoking zone. That includes e-cigarettes as well. And if you've got any small children with you, please make sure they don't clamber on the craft, and watch out for those hot exhausts. They can be anywhere on the craft. Now, Snack Wagon, Obviously, you see the ice cream van there. The snack wagon, if you want snacks, food, or drinks, then the snack wagon is inside the barn this time. So if you've been before and wondering where it is, it's actually tucked inside the entrance of the barn on the left-hand side. Now, if you are like me and need a gluten-free diet, they can accommodate that in the snack wagon. They've got gluten-free options. Right, I've just been informed that our first race of the second block of racing will be on schedule. So our next race will start at 3:30. So anybody coming into the paddock area now, you've got until 3:15. Paddock can have a look around. We've still got one craft moving, two craft. So the paddock is now settled. So members of the public can now come into the paddock area. I'm going to open up the gate for you, or it looks like it may be already open. So make your way down to the paddock. You can either turn right and go along the road bit or straight down the grass, whichever takes your fancy. But don't forget, chat for those hot exhausts if you've got any young children with you. And if you've got any questions, the drivers are they're usually quite good if you want to ask any technical questions. I'm probably going to sign off for a little while, at which point I'll be looking to clear the paddock. So if you're not going into the paddock, obviously the snack wagon just inside the barn there on the left-hand side for food and drinks, and obviously the ice cream van as well. Time is now 3:15. Our first race starts at 3:30. So we need to get the paddock cleared by 3:20. So if you are in the paddock area, can you please start making your way back to the public viewing area in the next couple of minutes? Thank you. Right, this is the final call. It's coming up to and make your way back to the public area.
I am, yes. I was trying to find a grid sheet and there are no grid sheets in that and I don't know why.
Right, that's it. I can hear the siren now, so that's a 10-minute board for this next race. So it's the first race of the second block of racing. And first race up is Formula 50. So if you weren't here earlier and you're new to the racing, I will go through the formulas as they come up onto the grid. So Formula 50, it's all about the Rotax 503 engine. It's an engine that's been around for many, many years. It's twin cylinder, air cooled, and 500cc, 50 horsepower. They have to run it in its pretty much as it comes out of the box. So no special carbs or exhaust. And they're only allowed to put the power through one fan. That provides both lift and thrust. When it comes to the hull design, skirt design, that's entirely up to the driver. There is also a weight restriction on this particular formula as well, the weight of the craft and driver. Don't ask me what it is, I can't remember, but there is a restriction on that particular aspect. So all the races this afternoon will be 8 laps, apart from the Colts. They'll only be doing 6 laps.
I see the standard lunch is catching. Is it fashionable to have the sour cream and onion Pringle tube?
Oh, Ross, well, looking down at the grid, the pole sitter for this race, number 81, Nick Drew, already there. We're number 2 missing at the moment. That's Josh Morales, number 43. Oh, just coming through now. Third spot is number 50, Richard Worthington. Completing the front row is 95, Charlie Clark. Row 2, number 72, Kian Olner. And alongside him is his sister, Georgia Olner. Then 89, Peter Symes Thompson. That completes row 2. Row 3, we've got 46, Russ Hudson. Then we've got 86, Michael Lambert. And then we got 116, and that is Serena Hackett. Well, it looks like 108 is down on the grid as well. And that's, well, it's either going to be Adam or Dan Turnbull. Trying to look down to the grid to see who that is. 67 on the Greaves is also out there at the back. Well, whilst we're just waiting for this final bit, don't forget, another reminder, if you have come today and you want to go away and find out some more information about the club as a whole, obviously you see the racing here, but in the northwest here, there's a very active cruising scene as well. And so if you go to the main club website at www.hovercraft.org.co.uk, sorry, www.hovercraft.org.uk. That'll give you a starting point for finding out where the branches are, the racing side, the cruising side, and of course you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram at official HCGB. Right, we're on the 2-minute board. Well, there's enough on the grid to make it a bit exciting and tight as they go round to this first turn round the telegraph pole. We're now on the 1-minute board. So 8 laps for all the formulas apart from the Colts. They'll only be doing 6 laps. Coming up to the lights very shortly. Here we go. And we're away. And it's Nick Drew 81 that's going to make it into the turn first, but 50 and 43 are going to be in there as well. It's 81, 50, 43. Then 95, 108, 72, 51, 46, 89, 86 and 116. Oh, we got a swimmer. Oh, that was lucky. Peter Symes-Thompson went for a swim at an 86. Michael Lambert must have only just missed him as he came out of the craft. Well, as you can see, that water isn't very deep, fortunately. So to come through the line, Nick Drew, 81, with a small lead at the moment, still being chased by Richard Worthington, number 50, then 43, Josh Morales, then 95, 108, 51, 72, 46, 116 and 86. Whether he caught the thrust from the craft in front and it pushed the nose down and suddenly the craft stopped and he didn't, I'm not quite sure, but Pete's still not in the race yet. So the first three go through. There's Charlie Clark, 95. Georgia Olner, 51. Kian Olner, 72. Then 46, Russ Hodson. Then 116, Serena Hackett. And 86, Michael Lambert. Battling for that last spot as they go around the telegraph pole turn. So a leader now coming through the line. Starting to increase the lead very slightly now. Number 81, Nick Drew. Then 50, Richard Worthington. 43. Oh, Josh Morales almost getting up on his side and over. That was close. As he came up and over the rise right in front of me. Craft getting a bit airborne there, a bit too close for comfort. Oh, Russ Hodson, 46, and Kian Olner there locked in battle as they go across the water. So midpoint in the race now, 4 laps gone. Nick Drew, 81, still being chased by 50, Richard Worthington. Then small gap now opening up to 43, Josh Morales. He's now being chased by Dan Turnbull, 108. Right, the front runners, the leader now starting to catch the tail enders. Michael Lambert, 86, is going to be the first one picked off at the top of the hill there as they run across the crest. Nick Drew moves through on the inside and passes him. Well, first and second, Nick Drew has not managed to pull away. Of course, the back markers now working in the favour of Richard Worthington, number 50, and allowing to close the gap down. But as they run up the hill, Nick Drew opens up the gap again. That's 5 laps completed. So the first 4 going through, not a great deal in it. Any small mistake, any of those 4, and that could all change very quickly with 6 laps gone now. Right, 1 lap to go now. The leader goes through. Still Nick Drew, 81. He's going to have some back markers to get past. On this last lap, Richard Wellington gets the craft right up on his sides. He came past me. That scrubs off some speed, so the gap opens up to Nick Drew. But that's allowed Josh Morales, number 43, to close the gap very slightly. He's still got 108, Dan Turnbull chasing him with 1 lap to go now, just under 1 lap. And crossing the line in first place, number 81, Nick Drew takes the win. Second across the line, Richard Wellington, number 50. Third across the line, 43, Josh Morales. Fourth across the line, 108, Dan Turnbull. Then quite a long gap after fourth, fifth spot. A long way back, half a lap down. At the moment, it's Charlie Clark, 95, but he is being chased by 51, George Olner. The run down the hill here. It is going to be Charlie Clark, 95, that takes fifth. Sixth goes to 51. Well, close. Oh, was that close or close? I think that was close, but not quite close enough. Oh, we've got another swimmer. Oh, dear. George Olner, the race is finished. He started to go for a swim. What's all that about? Right, where did we get to? 72, Kian Olner got 7th. 8th went to 46, Russ Hudson, although that was close. He almost made that up into 7th. 9th goes to 116, Serena Hackett. And then 10th goes to Mikey Lambert, 86. I know it's a nice day, you know, nice refreshing swim, but right, our next group, we've actually got 2 formulas combined here. We've got the Formula 3s, so that's up to 250cc 2-stroke. 500cc 4-stroke, and we do have 1 4-stroke on the grid, I hope. We've also got a Formula 35 out there. Formula 35, that formula runs a 35 horsepower maximum onboard capacity, and they have to be industrial 4-stroke engines, air-cooled, so the likes of Briggs & Stratton. So typically what you'd see on sort of like a lawnmower or agricultural type vehicle, and that 35 horsepower can obviously be used on just 1 engine, or generally it's split over 2 engines. So pole sitter is Richard Pound, 144. Second spot is Howard Ash. Third spot, I think we're now going to wait for that one because that craft's just been out with Dan Turnbull. It comes back out as 168. I think it's going to be the same craft. See whether it's Dan or Adam. Oh, no, it's Laura Turnbull. Daughter. There you go. So we've got father, son, daughter racing, and mum is in race control, in charge of all the lap scores. Right, so 8 laps again. There's a bit more breeze this afternoon. That wind is sort of moving around a little bit, which can catch the drivers out. If you look at the top of the hill, there is a flag flying there specifically for drivers to get an indication as to how windy it is up there. What you can't see, unless you know the lie of the land here, is when they get to the top of the hill there, there's a very narrow crest that they run along as they turn the marker, and then they run along the crest of the hill. But the other side, it's not flat. That drops away quite dramatically the other side. What happens is the wind can come up that slope the other side and hit the craft as they're going into the turn, and the air gets underneath, and then suddenly the craft is up and over. That did happen in practice this morning. Looks as though we're coming up to the start of the race fairly soon. Well, whilst we're waiting for that, if you do want to get involved, obviously you see lots of marshals out there. Today they are being treated to ice creams. That's not normal, but today the sun's shining, so they've all got ice creams. But yeah, if you do want to get involved, but not necessarily on the racing side, or actually racing yourself, there's many ways of getting involved. It's still very much a family sport, so we got lap scorers obviously in there, course marshals, the branch that run this event. They get all the organisation sorted for us to come here and race. And we got a technical team of scrutineers that check all the craft and make sure they're safe, etc., etc. So first point of call, main club website, www.hovercraft.org.uk. You can find all the local branch details on the website. We're now on the 1 minute board, so 1 minute away from the start. Right, here we go. The run to that turn is going to be close. So it's Howard Ash at the moment, 147, that's the early leader. 144, Richard Pound in second. And third, Laura Turnbull, 168, and then that Formula 35, 171, Zoe Deacon. So Howard Ash managing to get into that turn first, but I got a forward feeling Richard Pound's going to put the pressure on. So at the top of the hill there, those three Formula 3s still very much in touch. I suspect we're going to see a challenge by Richard Pound for the lead. Don't discount Laura Turnbull in third spot there. Well, Richard Pound all over the back of Howard Ash as they run across the crest of the hill there. He's going to make the move now. They look as though they might be side by side. Coming down the hill, but it looks like it's still Howard Ash. Now, what I can tell you is that those Formula 3s, they have a lever in the craft that can adjust the amount of lift and thrust that they get. Oh, Richard Pound went very wide there, kicked the craft up in the air. Yeah, a lever that adjusts the amount of lift and thrust. So as they go into that turn round in front of you, they can reduce the amount of lift, scrub off the speed, and then put that air into the thrust. And once they get out of the corner and go across the water, then they ease it back to full lift again. So Zoe Deacon in that Formula 35 about to be gobbled up by this three-way battle. Four laps gone now. So 5 laps gone now. Well, I expected Richard Pound to have put more of a challenge on, but he's not quite there yet. And Laura's still in that third spot, hoping that one of those two or both of them are going to get locked into battle and allow her to sneak through. Oh, Richard catching some air there as he comes down the hill. The one thing you don't do with a hovercraft is slipstream. So as Richard Pound came down the hill then, you saw the front end starting to lift. I think that was a combination of the wind as he was coming into the wind, but potentially the thrust from Howard Ash in front of him. So yeah, the one thing you don't do is slipstream with a hovercraft. You want to be kept to one side. Complete opposite of a car. Right, here we go. 1 lap to go now. Through the line, still Howard in the lead. So you'll hear that different tone. The lead craft has got a 4-stroke. So Howard doing very well in this race. It's normally 144 Richard Pound that manages to get through and take the lead at some point in the race, but he's not managed to do it this time. So Howard Ash, number 147 takes the win. Richard Pound 144 takes third. 168 Laura Turnbull takes third. So that race was won and lost as they went off the line and round that turn for the first time. All three of them so close, but close enough to mount a decent challenge. So our next group up, or we're starting to form up, is the Formula 2s. Right, so Formula 2. So we're now looking at up to 600cc 2-strokes, 750cc 4-stroke. This weekend, it looks as though we've got all 2-strokes. And pole sitter for the race, George Barnes, 77. Alongside that is Adam Turnbull, 68. Then 61, Dave Palfrey. Just a quick heads up for club members or anybody else. 61, Dave Palfrey is selling that craft. So, I'm looking down, is that going to be Abby or Aaron? Give me a wave. Is it Aaron? I think it's Aaron. That's the trouble with these. Some Right, okay, we're coming up to the lights very soon now. Here we go. Run to that turn. It's going to be close. But it's going to be George Barnes, 77 into the turn first, I think. But Adam Turnbull has got past. Can he make it stick? He does at the moment. So Adam Turnbull, 68, is our early leader. Being chased by 77 George Barnes, then 61 Dave Palfrey, then 98 Mike Hoffman, 52 Aaron Sutton, and 119 Jake Trussler. I wasn't expecting Jake to be that far back. I missed that. Just been told his lift engine decided not to play as they the lights went green. So let's see if Jake can make up some gaps. Well, two front runners just away and clear up the hill there. But then we got the battle for between 61, 98, 52 and 119. I just realised that Sue Oakley isn't out there in 55. So up the hill, George Barnes looking to put the pressure on, tries to cut through on the inside, not quite making it work. As they run across the crest of the hill, it's nose to tail. It is 68, Adam Turnbull still leading, George all over the back of him. Up the top of the hill, I think it's a change of places. Maciek Uchman and Dave Palfrey having a battle for third spot. And Maciek Uchman, 98, has managed to get past Dave Palfrey, but Dave trying to get back through on the inside to go around the telegraph pole turn. Is he going to make it stick? No, he doesn't. So Maciek Uchman moves up into third. Right, we're now midpoint in the race as they cross the line. Well, George has not managed to find a way past just yet. He's probably looking for a weakness somewhere. Oh, he's sneaking through on the inside. Not, oh, that was close. Not quite making it. And this is the four-way battle going past us, led by 98, 61, 119, 52. So this battle for the lead could end up getting caught up with the rest of the field very soon on this next lap, or maybe the lap after. 5 laps completed now. So this is the part of the race where it could all work in your favour or go totally wrong. Right, here we go. The two front runners now have tagged on to the back pretty much at the end of the field. 77 George Barnes goes for the move as they cross the water, but he's not quite made it. George has now got the inside to go to the top of the hill. They've got a back marker there. George goes through and takes the lead. So that's where the back markers come into play. George taking the inside line and basically blocked Adam Turnbull from getting through by using one of the back markers. That was Aaron Sutton. Third still 98 Maciek Uchman, 61, 119. So still all to play for as they go around the back markers. 119 gets past by George Barnes. So they're on the last lap now. The last lap board has gone out. Half a lap to go. The front runners up the top of the hill. A lap up on the rest of the field. So George Barnes has now opened up the gap, having got into the lead. It took him a while, but he got there in the end. George Barnes, 77, takes the win. 68, Adam Turnbull takes second. Third goes across the line in amongst us, Marshak Uckman. He looks very happy. Fourth across the line, 61, Dave Bolfrey. Fifth across the line, 119, Jake Truster. And sixth across the line, 52, Aaron Sutton. Well, that was a great race. Well, we're going to bring the pace down a bit now, but not necessarily the excitement. We're going to go to the juniors now. Aged 13 to 16. They are restricted in what they can run. As a general guide, it's the Formula 3 craft, Formula 50 and the Formula 35. Pole sitter for the race, 155, Ollie Brand. Second spot, 53, Oscar Lewington. Third spot, 48, Josh Trussler. And completing the front row, Joe Smith, who's having a blinding weekend so far. Really picked up the pace on that craft. Second row is 147, Nathan Ash. Then 86, Ben Lambert. Then 27. I've got brain fade. Oh, Elliot Folland, 27. That row 2 complete. Then we've got 46. That's going to be Luke this time. So Luke runs as a team with his brother. So it's Luke this time. And then 51, and that is, oh, that's another combination. I think that's going to be Thomas Cowgill this time. It's only the Colts that do 6. Is it the first time you've been? Oh. Who's your favourite so far? The guy that fell in? Sympathy boat, I think. Can't get too close to these speakers. Anybody else got any questions? No? I've come. Ooh, don't get too close. No, don't like the speakers, don't like me getting there. Right, 2-minute board's gone up, so 2 minutes away from the start. Right, 1 minute away from the start now. 1 minute. Right, just had it confirmed. It is Amy O'Callaghan in 51, I think. Oh, it's going to be close, but it's Josh Trussler at 48. That's into the turn first. Can he make it stick? Oh, 53, Oscar Lewington, almost into the catch netting. So it's 48, 155, 24, 53, 46, 51, 86, 27, 147, and 67. Well, we might have dropped the pace, but not the excitement. Well, Joe Smith challenging for that second spot, but not quite making it. Ollie Brown holding on to that second. He says, no, you're not having it. So our leader is still Josh Trussler, number 48. Getting off to a great start, and he's opened up a nice lead now. And Joe Smith, 24, goes through on the inside of Ollie Brown to go into the telegraph pole turn. And is he going to make it stick? Yes, he does. He's looking round. He's going to get sandwiched between, but it's Ollie. Oh, Ollie Brown out accelerates him away from the telegraph pole turn. So it's 48, 155, 24, 46, 53. Well, it's very much a three-way battle going on for second, third and fourth, but the leader pulling away now, Josh Trussler, number 48. Well, Joe Smith, 24, getting under pressure from 46, Tom Hudson. I think it's Tom. No, Luke. Sorry, Luke Hudson this time. Oh, 3 laps gone now, and 48, Josh Trussler. Oh, 51. Getting caught up with the catch net in there. In front of the front runners, but he gets away. That's Amy O'Callaghan. Well, Josh Trussler across the crest of the hill there, really romping away into the lead. Ollie Brown, 155. Being chased by 46. And, well, number 24. Sorry, 20. Yeah, 24. Joe Smith dropping back after that initial great start. So whether he's got a problem or not, I'm not quite sure. So we're now midpoint in the race. Right, 5 laps completed now. Josh Trussler still with a reasonably comfortable lead. Ollie Brown 1-5 through, 5 in second. Still got Luke Hudson 46, not that far behind. So after 46, we got 24, 53, 86, 147, 27, 67. So as they cross the pond, Luke Hudson's so close he can't quite find the way through at the moment, but he's putting the pressure on Ollie. The last lap board is now being prepared for our leader, who's at the top of the hill, running down the hill now, number 48, Josh Trussler. There we go, 1 lap to go now. Oh, Luke Hudson, oh, not quite making it. He looks as though he's closing the ground down on Ollie there as he came round the telegraph pole turn. So Luke putting him under pressure with just over half a lap to go now. Right, I'm looking at this battle for second. Josh Trussler comes through the line. Checkered flag is out, so Josh Trussler takes the win. Who's going to come through in second? Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I thought that was going to be Luke Hudson, but then Ollie came back and, yeah, I can't tell it. I can't call that from here. I'll have to wait for the official call on that one. We've got a TV replay, but I think it's going to be in the wrong position. Okay, we think it might have been Luke Hudson, but I'm going to wait for the official line on that one. Smith in number 24, 5th was Oscar Lewington, 53, 6th was Nathan Ash in 147. Then 7th is 86, Ben Lambert. 8th is 27, Elliot Follen. And 10th, Amy O'Callaghan in number 51. Right, I'm going to dare put my head into the race control unit now and find out who actually got across the line first, because I couldn't call it from my angle. Right, I've gone into race control and they've confirmed that 46, Luke Hudson, did get second spot. So Ollie Brand, so close. But yeah, he took third. Right at the last bit, taking the tighter line, got him through the line. It must have been close because I couldn't call it from my angle and I'm not that far away from the line. So that was extremely close.
Do you know how much instant we
So we're now going to Formula One. Unlimited capacity, anything goes. We're generally looking at 2 strokes rather than 4 strokes. And we're looking at thrust engines in the order of, let's forget the CC bit, we're talking about horsepower. And we're talking somewhere in the order of 180 to 220 horsepower. And then a lift engine as well. The top F1s will out-accelerate most standard road cars from a standing start 0 to 60. And they'll top out around about 70, 80 mile an hour. Pole sitter for this race is number 68, Adam Turnbull. Number 1, Conrad Bill, won't be on the grid. That fan that blew earlier in the day, the damage too much to get it back out today, so they're working on it now to get it ready for tomorrow. So number 1, Conrad Bill, won't be in this race. We just noticed that Luke Hudson's come back on the trailer, number 46. Whoa, not quite sure what happened there, but anyway, second spot is Abby Beale. Right, 1 minute away from the start now. Right, coming up to the lights very shortly now. Here we go, we're on the lights. And we're away, and Cy Francis, 28, got off to a good start, but I think it's going to be number 6. Adam Turnbull that gets into the... Oh, Abby Bill, 5. Stops in front of me. And I think that's the lift engine failed. So we've got a 2-horse race now. Looks like the lift engine's failed of some way or another. So 6 Adam Turnbull goes through in the lead. Cy Francis 28 in second. See if Cy can put the pressure on in that number 28 craft. Right, so I've just got, I thought it was 52, but it's actually 5. Abby Bill sat next to me now. The lift fan's blown. So not a good day for the Bills. Dad had a thrust fan go, now a lift fan on her craft. So Cy France is not letting Adam get away, keeping the pressure on, hoping that Adam will make a mistake with 2 laps gone. Oh no! Exactly the same place as Conrad Beale. Number 28, Cy Francis, the fan goes. Well, I found out that number 1, Conrad Beale, when that fan blew, it blew because the belt broke. So the drive belt from the engine down up to the top fan, the belt broke. It was a clean break, but of course it came loose and just went straight through the fan. So I've just found out that Cy Francis, his belt was actually frayed before the start of this race. So whether he's suffered the same fate, we'll have to wait and see. So that's a bit of a given now that Adam will win the race.
Yeah, but it's 10 minutes after the first person.
Oh, I don't believe that. I do not believe it. This can't be. Well, that's another one blown a fan. I mean, it's not that often it happens. We have 3 in one day, all the Formula Ones. Now that sounds as if the engine is still racing away. Well, I was saying all Adam has to do is win, finish the race. It doesn't happen. But obviously he will take the win because he's done more laps. But this is unusual. I can't remember the last time this happened, but it'd be interesting to see what both these craft caused the thrust fan to blow. Whether they've been belts or not, I don't know. But certainly Conrad Beale in the number 1 craft, that was a belt failed. It was a clean break. I'll try and find out what happened to these other 2. Right, well. Our next group already chomping at the bit and ready to go, and they are the Colts. So age 10 to 13 years of age. They'll only be doing 6 laps. And they are restricted in what they can run engine-wise, but they're also restricted in the amount of thrust they can actually produce. So there's no point in getting an engine that's approved and then trying to tweak it up to get more power of it, because you would ultimately, in the end, only be allowed to produce a certain amount of thrust, and that thrust is measured. Yeah. So for this race, let's have a look who we got. Pole sitter for the race, 44, Lily Elston, the Pocket Rocket. And second spot is 158. And that is Tyler Reynolds. Then we got 7, I think. No, sorry, 30. Maya Barlow. And then completing the front row is Emily Lewandon, 153. I can't believe that. All the craft out. All with blown fans as well. Yeah, I seriously can't think of the last time that happened where all the craft in the race blew a fan. And I've been doing this a long time, believe me.
But to be fair, all last year, when we was doing all of this qualifying races and everything, we were still going arcing on fuel at race entry, and he did not 90% of the races last year.
Swings and roundabouts.
Well, the fan manufacturers will be doing well. Hopefully they've got all got enough blades.
No. So, Adam went out in at least the first two races.
So we've got the Colts up now, and then one more race after that, and that's the Open Formula race. Before we finish today's racing, obviously we're here again tomorrow and Monday, so still plenty of racing for here at Magnols, and hopefully the sun is going to be shining all weekend. So we'd love to see you back again tomorrow or Monday, if possible. Right, if you're wondering what all the marshals are wandering around for, all the orange, they're looking for broken fan blades. It's not so they can stick them all back together. It doesn't quite work like that. But basically, to make sure that they don't get flicked up and end up going through somebody else's fan. So they're trying to pick up. Right, whilst we're waiting, I'm going to try and have another wander along here. I'm going to turn my mic off, but anybody's got any questions, get my attention and I'll come and see if I can answer. Well, it looks like they've managed to find enough fan blades to satisfy the course is now clear. So 2-minute whistle has now gone up, so 2 minutes away from the start. 6 laps. Don't forget it's 6 laps this time for the Colts. Right, here we go. Lily Elston, 44, straight into the lead. Tyler in second, nice clean turn. Oh dear, Emily. Did she break down there before? I think she broke down exactly the same place before. So not a good day for Emily. Meanwhile, our pocket rocket, number 44, Lily Elston, is away and clear. And Tyler 158, well, in a comfortable second now. And third, number 7, Maya Barlow. Third spot, we've lost fourth spot by the looks of it. Poor old Emily.
Where's Tyler gone? Oh, he stopped? Yeah.
Oh, I wonder where Tyler had gone there for a minute. I think Tyler took a break at the top of the hill.
He's on the hill. Going up, getting recovered.
Now, hang on.
I can't tell who that is. So then that's Tyler.
Yeah, Emily's on the left, broken down. Tyler's coming down the hill, but Tyler's lost a lot of ground on that last lap. Not quite sure why. Well, just over midpoint in the race. Our leader coming down the hill. That'll be 4 laps gone when she comes through. So through the line, 1 lap to go now for Lily Alston. So Lily. Third goes to number 7, Maya Barlow. Novice Colts and Juniors. So a complete mixed bag. Still waiting for our pole sitter. That should be 28 Cy Francis, but yeah, that fan went on that craft, so that's got a question mark against it. Jake Truster in second spot there in that Formula 2, 61 Dave Palfrey. Second row. That looks like 55 Sue Oakley. can't quite see from here. My grid sheet that I've got doesn't seem to be matching what's on the grid, so. Worked that out. So Sue Oakley 55 is there in Formula 2, Richard Pound's there in the Formula 3 144, and Peter Simons Thompson number 89. Right, 1 minute away from the start now. Right, coming up to the lights very shortly now. Here we go. Right, so Jake Truster is into the turn first. But no, bit of a touch there, 98 Motor Goodman, so who's it going to be? 119, 61 together, 98, 144, 55, Sue Oakley, oh, she's away. And then 89, Peter Simons Thompson, the grid is cleared. Oh, Dave of Palfrey getting some air there. Well, our leader's weighing clear at the moment. Jake Truster seems to be pulling away very slightly from Dave Palfrey 61. A small gap to Mychek Uckman. He's being chased by Formula 3, Richard Pound, and then Sue Oakley in that Formula 2. Sue Oakley in 55, Uckman at the top of the wheel, but Richard Pound sneaks back through, does he? Oh, that was sneaky. Sue had got past him. But, oh, she's managed to retake it on the crest of the hill there. So, 98 Michael Oakman now under pressure from Sue Oakley, number. Well, Jake Truster, is under pressure from Dave Palfrey, 61. Half expected Jake to be pulling away, but he's not. 61, then Sue Oakley, 55. Then Michael Uckman, 98. 144, Richard Pound. So 5 laps completed now. So our leader comes through. He's managed to pull away from Dave Palfrey, 61, but Dave on the mount of that challenging Dave Palfrey. She goes through on the inside, but can she make it stick? No, Dave comes back past her again. She moves through past Dave as they go across the crest of the hill. Now as they run down the hill, I think Sue's made it. Yep, 55, Sue Oakley has made it. She's now up in the second spot. 1 lap. Pulled off to one side. Here's the back marker, number 89. So the final run down the hill. 119. And 55, Sue Oakley takes second. Third goes to 61, Dave Palfrey. Fourth goes to 98, Michael Uckman. And fifth goes to Richard Pound, 144. And picking up sixth spot will be 89, Peter Symes Thompson. So that is it, folks. That's our racing for today finished. I hope you've enjoyed what you've been watching this afternoon. And yeah, we're here again tomorrow and Monday if you want to come and watch. The racing format's slightly different tomorrow, but we got a full day racing ahead. And our practice starts at 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. And the first race will be at 11:45. Don't forget, if you want to go away from today and look at some more information about the club as a whole, the national website is at www.hovercraft.org.uk. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter, Facebook and Instagram, and the handle for all three of those is @official HCGB. So I think that's me signing off now, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Goodbye.